Happy November 2nd. Happy Monday to you. Let's talk a little bit about week 8 and what happened. And I wrote a new formula into the algorithm file that is helpful. Let's talk about what has happened. So there were a lot of games this weekend. I, of course, did not bet on any of them, so you know it was a good week. But let's talk about what I've created here. It's something. It's a new slicer and it's a new way of looking at the games and at the results. Because as if you watch the video, the Sunday preview video that I released very early Sunday morning before the games, I talked about a lot of teams that I liked with the points: the Raiders, the Patriots, the Bears, the Niners, Pittsburgh, all these teams, and I went down the list saying take basically 5 teams, and I think 4 out of those 5 won. And I wanted to try to find a way to sort this and to filter this table by just those teams that we want, rather than having to go through them one by one and look at the point projections over here and look at what the spread was and should we take them with the spread. So I created this new filter that says, did we think team would cover spread based on point projections? It's a complicated worded question, but it just means that, when we have projected a score for the game, which is what this algorithm does that score result in this team covering the spread? So you have a yes or a no. So did we think the team would cover the spread based on the points? Let's look at yes. And what do we see? We see a whole lot of winning. And this is why I felt good about the week. That's this column right here. We were 9-4 so far this week, and it's looking at the team over here. Did they cover the spread? Did we think they were going to cover the spread? So we thought that Carolina, this has actually kind of changed. This was Thursday night's game, but we expected Carolina to win by like 3 or 4, and they lost the game. So that's a loss right here. Let's not even worry about these 2 columns right now because we're just talking about making picks on the spread line. Now, everything else, this Indianapolis game is actually a push because we had them winning by 3, but this is slightly bigger than 3, which is why this is showing it a yes. So this is really, we'd call this a push because it didn't say to take anybody because the line was 3 and we projected them to win by 3. So you can kind of let that one go. The Niners were a loss. They tried to come back late, but it didn't pan out. We did have a high-scoring game here, and that happened, so that's interesting. What about everything else? Raiders, we had them winning. You got 3 extra points with them. They won. This wasn't a high-scoring game, but they won. Patriots, they covered. We thought that they were going to win a really close game. Our point projections were very close, and they covered with the 4.5 points. The Bears, we thought they were going to win this game. They tried to come back late and win it in overtime. They lost by a field goal, but they covered the 4 points. Winner. The Dolphins, we thought they were going to lose by 2. The Rams were favored by 3.5. You take the 3.5 plus Miami. Also, they won the game, right? Boom, covered. Steelers, plus 4 points. We thought it was going to be a close game. It was a pretty close game. Steelers pulled it out in the end. They covered, they win. Denver, we thought Denver was going to lose by 2 points. They had got 3.5 with them. They end up beating the Chargers that are letting things go down. Dallas, this game, we thought they would cover because we have them scoring more points than they should back on the Dak Prescott days. So if you watch my video and also just understanding what is happening with Dallas right now, you don't want to ever take Dallas the rest of the season. Dallas is probably going to lose every single game going forward the rest of the season. They are the worst team in the NFL right now. They have no offensive line. They're just nothing. So this one, even though the algorithm says this, the algorithm is wrong, and we kind of knew that because of the injuries and what's going on with Dallas. So I wouldn't worry about that one so much. Bengals and Tennessee. We thought the Bengals were going to lose by 6. You could have got 6.5. The Bengals end up winning the game, so they cover. Minnesota, we thought they were going to lose by 4. You could have got them plus 6 points. They end up winning the game, 22. They cover. And the Jets, you needed 19.5 points with the Jets. That's just such a ridiculous spread, and the Chiefs end up covering that and winning the game by 26 points, right? So that one's a loser. But as we sorted this by win score percentage and by did the team cover the spread, you can see that the only things we really lost are Carolina and San Francisco. Everything else is a winner, including the 4 out of 5 I told you to take in the video. Raiders, Patriots, Bears, Steelers, Anybody else? It was the Niners, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 4 out of 5. That's good. So how does that look historically? Also, let's look back at previous weeks. You end up going 6-8 in previous weeks, so this is not as good in week 7. How about week 6? Here's a 9-5 week. That's good. Week 5, another 9-5 week. Week 4, 4-10. That ain't good. Week 3, 4-12. So at the very beginning of the season, it doesn't work very well. Week 2 is 11-5 though. So overall, what does the whole season look like? 68-49, 58% win percentage. And when you look at just the last few weeks, because we're getting more stats, let's go week 5, 6, 7, and 8. 34-22, 61% win percentage. So this is very interesting information. Is there anything that we can talk about the Monday night game? Giants are supposed to lose this game, but we have them losing by 11 points. And the spread is, I believe, still 12.5. Now, I have some comments about the Monday and Thursday night games here before I wrap up this video. When teams are playing on Monday or Thursday night, they generally come to play more. There's a focus on the game because it's the only game that's on. And the picks by the algorithm actually have not been performing very well when it comes to Monday and Thursday night games. And this has been a problem for years. I could told you this before this season. This is always, I actually did say at the beginning of the year, I'm like, I always lose Thursday night games. And it's true, it's weird. So, well, why is that? Is there officiating funny business going on? Are teams just coming to play? It's probably several factors influencing it together. So how can we read this game tonight, this Monday night game? This one, where are you, Tampa Bay? You guys are up at the top, right? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Oh, this is this being so? Oh yeah, because I have this thing. Sorry, let's do that. It's right up there. Tampa Bay. The game hasn't happened yet, so don't pay attention to any of this. Tampa Bay really heavily favored to win score. Like I said, 27-16. Now, the Giants' defense is a little better than you would think. And if you've really got a 12.5-point spread, I tend to want to take the Giants plus the 12.5 here. Even though Antonio Brown is making an appearance here, he's only been on the team for a week. I don't think he's going to be targeted every other play, even though he's a very impactful player. You got to have Brady and them trying to run the score up late to cover this 12.5. If I'm the officials, or if I'm anybody, I mean, everybody's thinking that Tampa Bay is going to crush this game tonight, right? So I guess you go against the grain, and because the point projections are saying it's going to be closer to 11 than 12.5, I mean, that is like 2 touchdown victory. A touchdown and a field goal is not going to cut it if it's a 12.5-point spread. It makes me want to take the Giants plus 12.5. Even though I do not think they're going to win the game. I mean, look at their defense. Let's go here real fast. The Giants defense. Where are you, Giants? Oh, you can't find me? Really? You serious? No, there you are. The Giants defensive rating is -0.7. Crap. Maybe my memory's bad. How about Tampa Bay? Bucks. Yikes. 6.7. Wow. Tampa Bay is really crushing it. Very, very tough game. What we can say here is that, I mean, if we look at the comparison in these two teams here, it's right down here and here. It's saying that Tampa Bay is significantly better in every single category. Yikes. All right, the best advice I can give you on this game is take Tampa Bay on the money line, really. I mean, there's no payout here, but the spread line, I don't know what's going to happen. They could just really walk all over the Giants and win this game by more than 2 touchdowns, even though that spread is ridiculous. So it's pretty much an unbettable game. I would say just grab your beers and get ready for the election, because I think that there's going to be more bloodshed in the election than there's going to be in the Monday night game. So that's pretty much all I have to say for week 8 so far, but I really, really like seeing this. because not only have we gone 10-4 on the spread line so far in week 8, but I went down the line and told you to do this before the games on Sunday, looking at the historical data. So everything about this is feeling great, and I got to pick up the phone and go.